Okay, we're live. I think we're live. Yep, we're definitely live. Send me a link, guys. All right, send me a link. How's everybody doing? I apologize for the fuck ups with Skype and OBS. I blame Skype. Skype's a pain in the butt. But yeah, so we're still gonna do this though. We're gonna be talking about men of horror, and I'm gonna open up my screen stream thing here that Cody just sent me now. There we go. Okay, we're on. And first off, I'm going to say hello to Pablo Uribe 1905, Beth S. Hello, Blake G, Tyshawn, Tony Esparza, Chris Wright, Jason V, Blue Nons, all these beautiful, good people. Thank you for showing up. CP, how are you doing tonight, brother? Yeah, actually, yeah. Good deal. What about you, Cody? Sweet. And then we got Lindsay from Mother Mayhem in the house, looking better than all of us. How you doing? Charles is here, yeah, and he does have his. I'm just really upset that I didn't have my. Oh, let me open up my pop-up chat. Hold on. I'm just upset that I couldn't use my thumbnail, but I can do a thumbnail for this after, right, CP? Okay, cool. Then that's what I. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Look at Lindsay. Came out swinging. Okay. Mm-hmm. 50 viewers right now. That's really cool. We gained 50 because of Lindsay? Okay. Yeah. Um. Uh-oh. They're saying they can only see and hear me. How does that happen? How? How does that happen? That. What if I? It could be. I wonder if it's my mic. Because Google Hangouts never does that, right? That's very strange. Let me. No, I closed it. Oh. You know what? I wonder if I need to disable something in. Let's see. I have my OBS. I remember my no OBS. I have my Google Hangouts window open now, and it is only showing just me. So how do I change that to where it shows you guys too? You've got to be kidding me. Screen share. That's crazy. Only me. Only me. It's. So they can't hear you either? Wow, this is crazy. I'm at a loss, people. Let me see. Hold on. Turn the camera off. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No. And I got 70 viewers, and I apologize to everybody for that. I only only my channel could fuck up Google Hangouts. Only mine. Yeah, because I can't. It's weird. I can't see you guys on Google Hangouts, but I can see you. I'm trying to talk through this. Let me try. Oh, let me try this. Hold on. I might be onto something here. Share this link. Okay, hold on. Here you go, guys. I'm gonna go to your Facebook right now. I'm gonna send you this link, and I bet you can get in. I think I have two different. Hold on. I'm gonna close this one, and I'm gonna send you guys this other one. I bet that's it. So, go to your Facebook. Hang with me, everybody. Okay, I'm gonna get through this. This is crazy. Okay, I just shared that. Now let's see if they pop in, everybody. We're doing this together. This is us. You know, we're a team. Me and all 70 of you. We're a team together. Close that. Now let's see if anybody pops in here. So I see Cody and CP saw it.
Well, now that we got rid of those other two losers.
Yeah, screw those guys.
I'm definitely.
Fuck, they're back.
Yeah, we got Cody, we got CP.
This looks like the one. Yeah, this is exactly what the problem was. You had two different ones open.
I had two different ones open.
This one I could see the live in the chat. So.
Oh, yep. And now I see Cody. Yep, I can see. I don't know if they could hear us, but
and
Filmatic says it works.
Hey, look at that.
Hey.
920.
I think we're good.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
All right, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And Lindsay, any day now.
Yeah.
Yep, waiting on Lindsay. 82 watching now. Wow. How's everybody doing tonight? All right.
Mother Mayhem is joined. There we go. All right.
All right, there she is. We're back. We're back. We did it, guys. We did it together.
Go back to the intros.
Everybody clap for each other, okay?
But are we going to be showing up?
We're
working.
It's good. We're working.
Yep.
Oh,
we're good
no
now.
way.
Yeah, I see you on the screen right now on the
Yeah.
YouTube stream. There's 80 people watching us. So.
But now they missed all of our fun jokes. And
We had a lot of banter going before we started this thing.
That was a pretty strong opening.
You know
Yeah,
what?
it was.
Just to make it up to the chat, the first question that I see in the chat, we're going to talk about that, okay? Because I think you guys have waited long enough, and I think we owe you guys that. So, all right, let's go. First question that pops up, okay? Here we go. Let's see what we got. Beth S is giving us a happy. Are you going to Halloween Horror Nights this year? Okay, that's Undertaker Punk. Okay, I live an hour away from Orlando, so my plan is to go to Halloween Horror Nights because I've heard some inside information about what's going to be there, and I'm not going to say it because I could get in trouble. But I think if you do some searching, you might find a little bit of some rumors that are going around, floating around. But yeah, I've heard. I'm excited. What about you guys? CP, have you ever been to Halloween Horror Nights?
In Orlando? No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No.
Yeah.
I haven't either.
Your mic is off, by the way. You could tell it's off without the blue light.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let me plug this in. Hold on. There we go.
Yeah. No.
Please hold, everyone.
No. I haven't been to a Halloween Horror Nights or whatever the shit you called it, but I haven't been to Orlando for anything but comedy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What kind of comedy gig did you have in Orlando?
What's it called? Wisecrackers? Is that the name of the club? Wise Acres? Fuck it, just something stupid about joking.
Yeah.
Just I was a road comic, and I did comedy in Orlando, and boy did they have a great time because they asked for me back.
I'm supposed to say something.
Go ahead.
Oh, right.
But that's what Beth just said. Lindsay, say something so we can see your shirt in all of its glory.
That's
Lindsay,
right.
you ever been to Halloween Horror Nights?
Me? No.
That's because you're way up there in the freaking. You're in Alaska, right, or somewhere like that.
The white north.
You're in the
with
Yeah.
the bison.
Stockholm, the
Yeah,
Norwegian
no.
camp.
Stockholm.
It's still like a 4-hour plane ride for us
Yeah,
to go to
that's-
Florida. So driving is like a couple day kind of situation.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
Cody, Cody, I know you're like 3 hours away. So what about you? Have you ever been to Halloween Horror Nights?
I've never been to any horror con actually. I had thought about it, but unfortunately the timing with it's right at the end of October, and I lucked out, and I have 2 girls with birthdays right at the end of October, so I know that's not going to fly. Bye.
Okay.
Have a good time. So,
I actually now speaking of horror cons, we can segue into that real quick. I actually went to Spooky Empire. I think in April it was April, maybe early May. That was my first horror con. And really, the big thing that I never expect is my voice cracking yet. Really, the big thing that I never expected was the merch. The merch. Like, I never realized how much great merch is at these freaking horror cons. It was awesome.
yeah.
Any of you guys ever been to a horror convention?
Cody just said no.
I know. Cody said he hasn't. Airbag me again, motherfucker.
I've never been to any horror con actually. I lucked out. I had 2 girls that had birthdays at the end of October.
Yeah. When is your 2 girls' birthdays?
The 25th and the 27th.
Sweet.
Yes.
That's what I'm gonna call the on the thumbnail. The title of it's gonna be Cody's girls' birthday on the 25th and the 27th.
Has Cody ever been to a con?
Yeah.
Well, funny thing, I've never actually been to a horror con before.
Just driving around the same block in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, exactly.
New crew,
I've
everybody.
seen this tree
Fuck these
before.
guys. Let's get a new crew in here. God damn it.
Rinse and
I didn't
repeat.
even get to say
I
anything.
know.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I know.
I'm on your shirt. You come with me.
Yep.
For the record, I've been to a lot of horror conventions. So
Yeah, I saw that. It was in one of your part 8, Friday part 8 video. You actually had some footage, right?
Yeah, well, I didn't get the footage. Victoria Linoleum got the footage. She's another horror YouTuber, and I definitely recommend you guys going and subscribing to her channel because she is awesome and I love her. And she lives like an hour away from me, so we should be getting together sometime soon, I swear. But yeah, no, I've done a lot of horror conventions. I was lucky enough to do Bruce Campbell's Horror Fest a few years back in Chicago, cool. And that was amazing.
So Johnny White says, we make you look good, Lindsay. I think that's what he's saying.
That's what I read too.
No.
He put it in all caps for you too. So
yeah,
I think you got.
I'm very beautiful in the midst of you guys.
Yeah.
So I think that's saying,
which is saying nothing about us 3.
Nothing. I'm gonna reach over this way and I'm gonna like push Lindsay out of the frame. Okay.
You have to bring the big guns to get this giant head out of here.
That's right.
That's another thing. That thumbnail that we had was great. You know, I had your head on Alice, and then I had Cody on Steve the pedophile, and then
Pedo Daniel
in his jean shorts
with the derpiest face in history. I've got this.
So
now we are going to talk about Men of Horror, and somebody actually. And I don't want to scroll all the way back up, but somebody mentioned Arkin from The Collector, and that jumped right out at me because I think he is one of the most underrated like horror males, I guess, like the last. Cody, why is Arkin such a great character?
He's a great character, because, especially in the first one, because he's not really like this good guy, but he's the guy that's charismatic enough where you follow him, but his morals, even though he's a criminal, makes you root for him. Like he goes back in the house just to get this girl out, and just he's a guy that you can root for. He's badass. Like when you get the scene whenever he's trying to let the girl have an opportunity to leave, so he's calling the Collector a pussy and everything, knowing he's going to get fucked up. Like scenes like that is what makes him a badass. And then you get the collection, and even though it's a little bit over the top, like with his broken arm and shit, it just takes it to another level with how much of a badass he is. Like he's there to fuck the Collector up. And not to spoil the ending, but if you're a fan of Arkin, he's got a nice little ending. Yeah. Well, that we know of. Maybe we'll get a third one.
Well, I mean, one thing that I just in general, just not Arkin, but as far as like you know, leading men that I really like, I like when they're like, I guess they're not really good people, but they end up doing the right thing. If that makes
That's
sense.
called a character arc, Lee. That's
Thank you.
when you know a film is good. Is that the
Right,
character
right.
starts somewhere and ends someplace else.
I just saw.
I'm sorry, that sounded so cunty.
I know, right?
I normally
for you,
mean to be
CP.
cunty, but I really didn't mean to be that cunty.
Well, I
You're
just
overdoing
saw
the cunties.
Joaquin Phoenix called "You Were Never Really Here," and he's kind of that type of character. Like the first half of the movie, you think he's just a, you know, he's got a really troubled past, you know, and so watching that first half of the movie, you're thinking this character could go either way. By the end of this movie, you could hate him or you could love him, and there's a point in the movie, in the middle of the movie, where, you know, there's a little girl in danger, and so of course he does the right thing, and you can't help but love the guy by the end of the movie. So, kind of reminds me of Arkin a bit. Lindsay, have you seen the Collector movies?
I have.
Okay.
Vaguely remember certain things. Like I barely remember the first.
What
the second one, I watched it like when it first came out, and I just watched it the once. And then the second one, like I remember, like the opening kind of scene.
Ghost ship
What
too,
the-
you mean?
Yeah, the ghost ship on the dance floor. And then like something. I think there's like a moment somebody's like in a box or something.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this was a movie you put in at like 12 o'clock at night, and
Yeah.
you're like relaxing and fell asleep once or twice, and like it's one of them situations because there's no way the collection could be that vague.
Well, the first one, let's be honest,
Yeah.
that was quite a few years ago, and only watching it once. And the second one, I feel like I watched it when I was pregnant.
yeah.
There you go.
I think I might have. So that
A
right
fever
there.
dream.
Yeah. I might have like fallen asleep sitting up unintentionally. I'm not entirely sure. I can't tell you.
Well, that is the one franchise where I'm like, I'm starving for a third movie.
Yes.
You know? Because there's so much more that you could do with that character. Both those characters, really, Arkin and the Collector.
The ending is pretty.
The ending is pretty open.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, I would love if, because Marcus Dunstan, he lost the rights to Halloween. I mean, so that fell through. He did
Take
The
a shot.
Neighbor after. What would you airbag? What?
No, I said take a shot. Anybody at home, take a shot. We mentioned the H word already, so
I was thinking it as I was saying it.
Now, actually, I do have a question though.
Go ahead.
Is Lee glitchy only for me?
he's a little blurry and pausy, and
Well, because like even when I'm looking at the video stream, it looks like everyone else is moving, but
Okay.
Lee is like all like robotic.
It could be my computer.
I think Lee's had this problem with Google Hangouts a few times.
Yeah, I think it's my computer.
That's why we don't use it very often.
Yeah.
this is 5 stars right here. You know what? We're wasting some good material on a shoddy performance, which is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would like to give a shout out to Rick Middleton in the chat.
Oh,
Okay.
He says, Lindsay, I just watched your video defending Friday the 13th 8, and after watching it, you changed my mind of how I looked at it. You did a
look
great
at that.
job with your views.
wow.
Well, thank you, Rick.
My goal, you know, like as a reviewer, if you do a movie that you know that everybody hates, if you can like at least convert a few of them, then you feel like you have a small little victory. Because
Hey,
I did that with Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
All jokes aside, though, I legitimately didn't know that there was an issue with that movie or that anyone had that big of an issue with that movie until like getting into like the YouTube world.
Yeah.
I had no idea. It was always one of the ones that I watched the most, the one that I liked, not the most, but one of my top ones. I had no idea that everyone hated it so much.
Was that
It's
one
okay.
of the first that you
Freddy's
watched?
dead as its fans too.
As far
Please
as the
don't
Friday
compare
movies
it.
go?
what? Who? What?
Was that one of the first that you watched, Lindsay?
No.
Okay.
No.
you just
Like the
liked it?
first 5 I watched before I was like 5 years old.
Yeah.
Regularly. And then I didn't see 6 or 7 until years and years later, and after I had already seen Part 8.
Oh, wow.
Ugh.
Well, because like where I live, I guess just horror movies weren't like big selection at a lot of our video rental places.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to track it down until my mom was actually working at a video store, and the guy who owned it was a huge horror fan. So he had a lot of like the lesser known kind of horror franchises.
Everybody bought
and
the good versions, and all you had left was the scraps. So
well, no, like that's where I first saw Frankenhooker, and I am always very thankful to him for having that movie there so that I could watch that when I was like 12.
Hey, you know what? Shout out to Adam Marcus for shitting on somebody's head in Killer Flicks yesterday.
Oh, really?
Holy
I didn't
fuck.
even hear about that.
If you wanna look at a nice little comment thread, Adam Marcus just basically, who's a person who's no longer a member of Killer Flicks.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I stood up and applauded. And listen, I'm not the biggest Jason Goes to Hell fan, but man, good for him. Good for him.
I missed all of that.
Can you give us a little bit of a briefing on it? Because I didn't see it.
So, somebody who had infamy in Killer Flicks basically did this fucking diatribe on opinions. And he finished the diatribe with Jason Goes to Hell. I watched Jason Goes to Hell. It's terrible. It's dog shit. And then Adam Marcus's first comment was like, wow, really? Wow. And then he just fucking goes off. And he's like, I fucking had it with this bullshit. I'll need to find. It's quite a read. It's fucking hysterical. And he's still in the group. God bless Adam Marcus.
So the post is still up. I can go find this.
Yeah, because I commented on it 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago.
Well, if you can find it again, tag me, because that's always hard. Yeah. It's always so hard to find.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So, he stuck up for himself. And again, I'm not the biggest Jason Goes to Hell fan, but, he's absolutely right. The special effects in that are really good. It's ambitious. If it's not your cup of tea, it's one thing, but,
It's tough when you're on that side of the fence, though, Like, even if you make, like, the worst movie ever, if you're in any kind of horror group, that's eventually going to happen. And you have to have super, super thick skin.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
This has never happened before. Ever.
Yeah, this is the first time this has ever happened.
Yep. And he stuck around. God bless for sticking around. How about
he was around for a long time.
Dude, you know what? And in the wordage, in the paragraph, it seems like he's just been sitting there looking at all these posts about Jason Goes to Hell, because there was one yesterday. What's worse, Halloween Resurrection or Jason Goes to Hell? I bet you that was just like the tipping point. He's like, you know what? Fuck this. You guys are go fuck
you. Finally had
Resurrection.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna put my dog out real quick. He's mumbling.
Is that a euphemism?
So are we supposed to carry this on without Lee?
Yeah. So of course I would have said Tom Matthews, Tommy Jarvis.
I think he might have to go potty. That's weird.
Are you talking to us or?
I like how they use potty.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's gonna make wee-wees.
My grandma used to love that word, and I hated when she would say it out loud, verbally, like loud, so everybody could hear it.
Well, maybe if she didn't have to tell you.
That was the thing. She didn't, but she felt the need to.
Cody's 18th birthday. Cody, go to the potty.
Yep. You would laugh, but you're not that far off.
I will say this. I think Adam Marcus is like a really, really solid dude, though. Like, I've chatted with him a few times.
Yeah, he's a good sport, too, like up until yesterday. Yeah.
And you know what? He co-wrote Texas Chainsaw 3D, which is a movie that I love and a lot of people hate.
Well,
2 for 2.
Page to screen is a little...
Yeah, that's true too. That's true.
That movie works a lot more if the people who directed it didn't make it fucking modern day. That's one of the biggest things that just throws the whole thing off. I mean, there's problems that you'll never get rid of, but I think I even read an article where he clarified. He's like, "Look, my script took place in the fucking 90s, so I don't know why they put cell phone lights and shit like that. But it just little things like that just make everything else highlighted in that movie."
Yeah. I just had fun with it. That's my thing with Texas Chainsaw 3. Before I saw it, everybody was like raking it across the coals and saying this is like the worst thing. And I hadn't seen Next Generation at that point. Yeah, so I watched it. I had a good time. And I was like, what is everybody talking about? Yeah, it's not good, but I mean, it's still a fun ride. And then I saw Next Generation, and I was just like, wow, that is fucking dog shit.
Oh, that was the same thing I said whenever everybody was jumping on Leatherface. They're like, Leatherface is the worst of the franchise. I was like, then you have only seen a couple of them.
Yeah.
Don't even fucking go there.
I can name 10 horror movies that are much worse than Texas Chainsaw 3D. And I can still say it's bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's got some fun kills. It's got some nice looking girls in it. Good looking guys for the.
Aren't we supposed to be here talking about men of horror?
Emily, I think the ice cream truck's outside.
Leatherface is a man.
Lindsay, who's your favorite man of horror?
Well, shit, I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah, you're the one that said it.
She's like, can we redirect the conversation, please? Oh.
But not to me.
Earn it.
Yeah, I'm going to go like, oh, God, you guys are going to hate me.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go really cliche and just say Kane Hodder, period.
Yep.
I know, see? I knew that because he's not in Jason Lives, and I'm sorry about that.
That's not why I don't
That has nothing to do with
no,
it.
and people think that he's overrated and all of that, but you have to remember that, like, when I was, I don't know, like, falling in love with the genre, like, more than it's just something that's always on at home, when I was really, really falling in love with the genre, that was his era, and he was doing a lot of, like, he was in like Wishmaster and things like that. Like, he popped up all over the place, so he was a familiar face to me. And now, like, and I know it's not even a fan, you guys aren't fans of the franchise, but I love the Hatchet franchise, and I love him in the Hatchet franchise.
I haven't seen
see,
I enjoy the first one, but I'll say this about Kane Hodder: like, the dude's badass. Like, I've read stories about what he's done with his stunt work. The guy's all over. He's definitely the most like iconic actor as far as like the Jason actors. So the only one that's like literally in horror all the time. It's just as far I call him overrated because I hear all the time, more times than not, like, Kane Hodder's clearly the best Jason. He brings so much to the character, and I'm like, I never get it. And I'm a new fan of the Friday the 13th franchise. I'm like, what did he bring that Ted White and Richard Brooker didn't already invent?
Like, I don't think that he's the best Jason.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
He was like number 5 or some shit on my list, like number 5 or 6. Nope. I had him right above Ken Krasinger.
Yeah. I think he's quite a big step above Ken Krasinger, though.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah. I'm just saying, as far as my ranking, I had Derek Mears as number 1, and then I had Ted White, then I had Richard Brooker, and then maybe he was 4th. Then I don't think he was after Richard Brooker. But I just don't see like what me and CP joke about all the like the breathing, where Jason's always doing this. That's the only thing that really is like signature about his Jason. Everything else came before him, and he just kind of picked up from there.
Undead
Part 4
Jason
breathing is the scariest one.
Which
Part
one?
4?
Part 4.
Yeah. Ted White. Ted White's my favorite.
Yeah, it's lit nice and dark and moody too.
Well, in Kane Hodder's defense, I will say this: I don't think it's his fault that he is considered like an icon. He was just there. People love the guy for one reason or another, and I constantly hear people say, you know, Kane Hodder, Kane Hodder, Kane Hodder, and I think a big reason for that is a couple things. I think it's because he did 4 movies in a row. He didn't do a bad job at all. Like, you can tell he's passionate about the character. He's always at conventions, and he loves the fans immensely. That's one thing I've seen. That's one thing I've seen about, and I respect the hell out of that. If you go above and beyond for the fans, I mean, that's saying something. I think I always, when I hear horror convention, a lot of times I see Kane Hodder there. So
and if he goes out of his way to tattoo somebody on their shoulder, I mean, that's.
yes, he does. It's down there somewhere. Oh, too much hair.
Lower.
Did you say hair?
What?
It's there. You guys know it's there.
What are you doing?
Shave from now on, huh?
Hey, we got 3,000 watching.
Sweet. That jumped quick.
I haven't even gotten to my chest hair.
All right. So, CP, who's your favorite man of horror then?
I said it before. Does it have to be a villain or a
No, it can
or
be
a final boy? It's Tom Matthews in
Yeah.
Jason Lives, bro.
Bro.
It's him. It's totally him. And
I see that
Never
coming.
Hike Alone. Now that since the director spoiled it, I'm going to spoil it.
Might as well.
He's in
Yeah,
Never Hike
there you
Alone
go.
too.
There you go.
Well, I
That's
like Tom Matthews not just for that, but because
Oh.
he's awesome in Return of the Living Dead.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
And his name is Freddy. Go figure.
Yeah,
Tina.
he looks very strange in that movie compared to Jason Part 6.
He slowly
like-
dies in that
two
movie.
different
That's
people.
why.
What's that?
A little thin. Is that what you're saying?
No, I think it's the hairstyle. He looks more punkish, where he just looks like blue collar. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess
well,
that's
he was-
called acting.
that was that. Well, that, no, they were all a part of like that little punk group.
Yeah.
Except his girlfriend, who had that. I don't know what you would call that outfit she was wearing, but
I don't even know if I would have categorized him as being punk like the rest of his friends, because him and his
Yeah.
girlfriend kind of stood
the
out from
girlfriend
the rest of
especially.
the
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, like in Jason Lives, there's something like more rugged about him.
Mm.
And that might be the flannel. That might be the jean jacket with the fur lining. I'm not
You
sure.
can just imagine if he
It
was
all
wearing
works.
shorts. He wouldn't be able to take it.
Oh, I couldn't take it with the jean jacket.
Yeah. No, but what I love about him in Part 6 is just like he's on a mission throughout that whole movie. And he's not the brightest, I guess, bulb in the drawer, because he goes and digs up an already dead Jason and brings him back to life so he can go kill him again.
I tried to destroy him, but I fucked up.
I know.
You got that right, punk.
You know what? If nothing's really happening, leave him in the ground. See what happens. You know? Why go dig him up?
Let me put
They
this.
tried.
punk-
They tried to. It didn't quite work out too well.
And why didn't Rorschach say, "You're a fucking idiot," after he did that shit?
Yeah, and he didn't have time to. His heart got punched out.
That's true. He did get a heart punch.
hmm
Yeah. Which
Who's
is
your
kind of an affectionate.
Lee, who's your favorite boy in horror?
Oh, Kurt Russell. Hands
Ooh.
down.
Oh,
Kurt
in The
Russell.
Thing?
In a
And
couple
he's only done a
movies.
couple. He's only done
Yeah.
a couple too. He's done what is it? The Thing, Death Proof,
Thing.
Bone Tomahawk.
Yep.
Oh, Bone Tomahawk. I guess that.
But-
does- yeah.
I'm gonna
End of
cheat,
list.
and I'm gonna say Escape from New York too, because it does have some like horror-ish vibes, even though it's not a horror movie. The score feels kind of like a horror score.
That's so odd that John Carpenter feels horror.
Snake Plissken is kind of a darker type of character. Like you could put Snake Plissken in a horror movie, like throw zombies at Snake Plissken, and you could probably have a ball. You know what I
Oh,
mean? So Kurt Russell, I think, is like the epitome of like the ultimate horror badass. Loved him as McCready in The Thing. Like if you didn't have McCready in The Thing, that's a big part of that movie.
Yeah.
It is.
And McCready is a badass character, and he doesn't really like flex that much. He's just like a leader. He's kind of put into this like leadership role, even though he didn't want it.
He
And
kind of had to steal it. To be
Yeah.
honest with you.
he's the one that like stood up and said, "Hey, I don't trust you guys, and I think we need to do something about this." He was kind of the first one to do that, and you're just rooting for him through that whole movie. He's freaking awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's my Big Trouble in Little China. Now I'm venturing way out of horror. So my apologies.
Come on back. Come back.
We'll
Lee.
be back, guys. We'll be back.
Can I deviate and be slightly topical for a split second here?
Mm-hmm.
Slender Man comes out on Friday,
Yep.
and
The
fucking
what?
nobody's
Nobody's
talking about it.
Nobody's talking at all about it.
No one has given a shit about that movie ever since the first trailer, even before it. It's just, the trailer looks like, hey, we can do the video from The Ring.
The video. Here's 90 minutes of the 2-minute Ring video.
Yeah. This has got shit bomb written all over it. It's like what? It's like what, 6-7 years way too late. Like who the fuck talks about Slender Man anymore?
Well, and all the shit that went down with Slender Man and like those two little girls killing that other kid from their class, like that's just like don't glorify it anymore.
Maybe the timing, yeah, that's a good point.
It was already a bad.
Well,
situation.
if you dig there's copycats for a whole bunch of stupid shit. Like some guy copied Dexter up in Canada. And
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's glorifying it afterwards. Like Dexter was already happening. Were they going to cancel the show? No.
Yeah.
But Slenderman, it's like, okay, all this stuff happens. Do you really need to make another film thereafter? I don't think so.
It's just so random, though. It's just like I've never. I mean, shit. There was people talking about Truth or Dare, at least in Killer Flicks. I mean, granted, there was a small amount of them.
Yeah.
But I heard nothing about this.
Oh yeah.
Is Slenderman Blumhouse?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think so. Yeah, because
I
they're
don't
not
think
really
so.
promoting it.
Yeah, I think that's the difference because whatever Blumhouse does, they're always. It seems to be really big hits or really big
They
misses.
promote the shit out of any horror movie that they put out.
Yeah, so I think that's the big difference.
Plus, it's like, hey guys, we got another mysterious CGI villain. Aren't you excited? I hate CGI villains.
And it's kind of like it's like a YouTube thing, isn't it? Like what do they call that? Emily, what do they call that? Slenderman.
Creepypasta.
Somebody says it's made by Sony.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's not Blumhouse.
Sony, even worse.
Yeah, somebody. Yeah,
Also,
Draven
it's
G
going up
says it's
against
made
The
by
Meg.
Sony.
Like, why would they try to release it on the same weekend as The Meg?
Yeah, good call.
People
That's a
have been
good
waiting for
segue,
that
actually,
one for
Lindsay.
a while.
The Meg comes out this weekend, doesn't it?
Ooh, can I pick Jason Statham as my man of horror? Because
Go for it. Good segue.
What horror movie is he been in?
Yeah, wait, what?
Kid just
Whatever.
pick like.
I can do what I want.
All right. Give us
All
the
right,
best
fine.
sexual movie that doesn't have sex in it. Go ahead, go. Lindsay.
Haha.
The Thing.
That's what that was one of the. I said The Thing. The Omen is another really, really good one.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
What I was talking about is like
Jason
the
Statham.
inappropriate
Yeah.
moments of sex and nudity that
but-
are thrown in for.
I just wanted to joke on you. Just
Yeah, I know.
Don't make it a thing.
Yeah, but you're doing it at my expense.
So I do it at everybody's expense.
The horror show. So I think that's Cecil in there. He's saying that the Meg is going to clean up. Do you guys really think the Meg is going to clean up?
This
I
weekend?
think it will, but I think that
there's not really anything big out right now. I mean, the last thing that was big was what? It was
Mission Impossible layover.
Mission Impossible, yeah, and that's still a pretty modest summer blockbuster. So I mean, it'll probably do well, but no, I don't know. I think everybody knows exactly what to expect with that movie. It's going to be like Sharknado meets Jaws, so it's. I don't know.
I think it'll do well for the first weekend, and then once the reviews
27
start
million.
rolling out.
That's what I'm saying. 27 million first weekend.
That's a
What do you
pretty good guess. That's a pretty good guess. That's good enough for first this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What'd they spend on this movie?
Yeah, I don't have that. I'll have that Monday. I don't have it now.
Okay. Yeah, you better have it one day.
They saved a lot of budget on blood, apparently.
I was just going to say the director has already jumped in front and said that there's stuff that he wanted it to be R-rated that people won't see. And it's just like
That's always such a huge red flag for me. Right before a movie comes out, where the director's like, "Don't be mad at me about what you're about to see."
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? I mean, I'll give you my opinion on it. If I see a big shark movie, I would like to have, and I know Jaws was PG, but in 1975, a PG movie, you could get away with a lot more blood.
There was no PG-13.
Well, not only that, but what worked in the 70s doesn't work now. You couldn't advertise big shark movie where people die on the beach and have it be PG. It wouldn't work in 2018. It's just like Halloween. You could say the same thing for Halloween. You could not release the original Halloween the way that it is in 2018 and have it succeed the same way, because it would be tame by today's standards.
But can I also ask though, like, because I saw somebody else bring it up in Killer Flicks, like, what kind of gore is everybody expecting? Like, when a megalodon eats a human being, like, I don't think he needs to take a couple bites.
Well, we're not following
just
logic here with a movie like this. It's just you see a big shark movie and you want to go, I want to see guts.
I know you're not expecting much, but you can give some really fun gore with a movie like that.
like
I think you can have like just a group of people, like 20 people, and the Meg that comes and just like freaking bloodbaths all of them.
Yeah, there's these the thing that got me all jazzed up was the overhead shots of the shark, like underneath. Like a shit ton of people, or it's just like you just scoop them up in one bite and then just have the water filled with blood. But I don't know. I guess that blood is R. I don't know.
I'll go see it. I mean, it's PG-13, and it could still be really good. It could be fun. I'll go see it. But my problem, and this is just me, I think, with PG-13 movies, more times than not, I leave the theater wishing I saw, like, Happy Death Day is a great reason, and I know a lot of people like Happy Death Day, but when I left that theater, I was just like, God, the possibilities they could have done with this.
That was my main negative,
Yeah, that and I think it bothers me more than it does most, because I like gore. I hate the word gore, but I just like a lot of blood if necessary in my movies.
It bugs me when it's a certain type of movie. Like, you can have a PG-13 horror movie. The fact that people that say that you can't have a horror movie and have it not be rated R is a fucking myth. But when you have a movie like a slasher movie or like even a shark movie, in my opinion, but like slasher especially, I don't want to see a PG-13 slasher. Because a slasher is there.
That's a good point, Cody.
Yeah, is there for you to see blood and shit like that. Like, you can do PG-13, supernatural
Ghost
movie.
movies
You can
and
do
shit like
PG-13. Yeah, exactly. You can get away with it. But if you're there to see gore, don't do cutaway kills and fucking squirt ketchup on somebody's face or something like that. It's just
the rating shouldn't be the top thing that they're working for. It should make your movie, and then if it's R, you fucking deal with it.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about tone-wise for the Meg. I know it kind of comes off as a comedy, kind of like a horror comedy. I don't know. I kind of like the tone of Jaws, where it's mostly serious. You got this guy, the mayor's telling Chief Brody, "Hey, we got to keep these beaches open because we gotta make money for the town and everything." And I like that whole little subplot that was going on because it kind of added some dramatic weight to it. Whereas this one, I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be fun. Do you guys wish it was a little bit more of a serious tone?
I've never read the book, but I know most people that are excited for it read the book. But even from the concept of it, when I first heard a Jason Statham versus gigantic shark movie, I was like, oh, it's going to be a ridiculous summer movie. But it's hard to say until I see it. If I see it, I'll be like, oh, this is perfect. Or it could be, oh, this should have been a shark thriller. I don't know.
I'm not seeing any reviews on it yet. Like, have you guys seen any kind of
the horror show saw it, but I haven't watched the
horror show
review yet.
Did put a review out actually.
They had screeners Monday, but I guess there's still an embargo. So that actually, you know what? I think embargo was either tonight or last night. So the scores should be going up
like right now.
Soonish, yeah.
Okay. I'm kind of curious.
Well, it's better. It's better when it's Tuesday or Wednesday and not like Thursday. When the embargo lifts on Thursday, it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah,
they know something.
Yeah.
Lindsay, were you a Jaws fan? Do you like shark movies?
Oh yes, yes. Cool. One of my bucket list items is to be able to swim with sharks. I did get to swim with two when I was in Mexico, but they were toothless sharks. So
it doesn't count.
No, Jaws is one of my mom's favorite movies. I get flack all of the time because I grew up loving Jaws 3 and 4.
Ooh, I'll give you a pass on 3, but 4 is. Whew.
Well, 1, like you give me a Quaid in Jaws 3, and I'm happy. Yeah, I'm very happy.
Yeah.
So he's another man of horror that I very much enjoy. And then part 4, 1, I love like the setting and like that they're actually on beaches. But then there's the scene with like the banana boat. That scene like terrified me from a kid, and I've to this day never been on one of like those like flotation things like that they pull behind boats. I will not do it. And we live on freshwater lakes.
Yeah.
And you also get, and now I can never remember his real name, but also another man of horror. But he was Jimmy
I
from
was
Halloween.
just gonna say that from Halloween 2. Drink up, guys.
I thought he was so dreamy.
Yeah.
And really enjoyed him growing up.
Hey, Lindsay, there's your next review because you defended Jason Takes Manhattan. Now you have to do a review defending Jaws 4.
So thank you, Sean. 43% in Rotten Tomatoes, Meg.
Okay. I'm not surprised by that.
That's
No.
that's pretty par for horror.
Holy crap! Horror Show said Jaws 4 is better than Jaws 3. Let me tell you what I like about Jaws 3. First off, I love that it's 3D. Because this was when like Friday the 13th Part 3 came out, and 3D had a little window there, and I just remember seeing that shark coming towards that big glass tank, and it scaring the crap out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Quaid is great in that movie. Actually, I don't know. I think Jaws
Lovely.
3 has got some scary moments in it. I think it's even better than the second one. I just said that.
Well, like the bumper boat scene.
Yeah,
that was a good one. But yeah, and like as a kid watching it, I loved it because they're at SeaWorld. So there's dolphins and all of this. So as a kid, it was one that I rewatched a lot. So now there's just like that nostalgic kind of feeling with it. But there's some like big name people in that film. And when you think about it, I mean, the second one, sure, we get Brody back, but it's a little bit of a cop-out. Like the end is so weird.
Well, also you got that.
I still love it though.
There's that scene where they say that there's a shark in the park or something like that.
Yeah.
And everybody's like freaking out, like where is he? So yeah, it's fun. I liked it.
Mm-hmm. I love all of them. I do, but Part 3 and 4 I love as much as the others, and everybody seems to hate them.
So some reason they're saying they're not seeing me now. But they can hear me, right?
I don't see.
Yeah, no, just your icons coming up now, Lee.
Yep.
That's weird.
When you talk, it vibrates little
Camera shit the bed.
Okay, I did camera off and on.
There we go.
Okay.
I can see you now.
Cool. Okay, I just did so it should come up in the should come up in the YouTube feed here in a minute. There it is. Okay, cool. All right, so I guess we could do another Man of Horror. CP, who you got?
Another one?
You can give me one.
Yeah, Paul. Somebody. It's been said a couple times in the chat. Paul Walker and Joyride. What happened?
He died.
Oh.
Yeah. Sad.
Yeah. Not.
Has anybody seen that they're releasing like the biography documentary sort of thing on him?
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
Oh my god, just the preview for it made me bawl my eyes out. So that's going to be a trip. I'm going to need to be drunk for that.
Beth S just mentioned one that's going to be my pick, but I'll go ahead and say Blake G says Justin Long from Jeepers Creepers. That is a damn good pick.
Eat us.
Shut up. You didn't like Justin Long?
I was quoting him. He said, "Eat us."
Okay.
Yeah. and Tusk.
Ugh.
I haven't seen Tusk yet.
Oh, I've seen Tusk.
Fucking weird.
I know, right? I haven't seen
Tusk is really intriguing for like the first 30 minutes.
Preach.
And then it goes like full on like almost comedic body horror to the point where it's just off-putting. And then you insert Johnny Depp and I'm like, okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
When I was looking at him, I was like, is that what? Yeah, it definitely is.
It's like a gag. Like Kevin Smith said, "Hey guys, let's just go completely left for the second half." What?
Anton Yelkin.
Yep.
Let's just name all the dead people now.
Yeah.
Hey,
what?
Well, no.
If you're gonna gasp every time somebody brings up a name.
No, my pick for Anton would probably actually be Odd Thomas. I loved Odd Thomas so much.
Fright Night.
I wanted more.
Oh, the Fright Night remake, yeah.
Fright Night, he was great. I just watched Thoroughbreds a couple weeks ago. It's not really horror, but he was pretty
good in that. Yeah, that was his last movie.
I don't know how the fuck they worked around that too, because
that
2 years ago.
Filmed like 2 years ago or something like that. So, Frankie Ramos says Devin Sawa. That's a good one. Leading man from Final
Idle Hands
Destination.
and Idle Hands.
Yeah.
He's one that I thought was going to go really far because he had a 1-2 punch with Idle Hands, and then he had a Final Destination, and then he just kind of like fell off the map.
Well, wasn't there some kind of drama about why he wasn't in the second one? I don't know if he wanted more money or something like that, but there's a reason why he has such a shitty write-off in the second one.
Yeah.
And then I didn't see him in anything again until I watched the CW version of Nikita, and then he just shows up randomly as this badass. I was like, is that fucking Devin Sawa? I couldn't even hardly recognize him.
Yeah, you couldn't even recognize him. I guess that's 20 years on him, but
Yeah, because Ali Larder didn't. Ali Larder's. Yeah, no, it was Ali Larder, right?
Yeah.
She didn't mail in that performance in the second one.
No,
never. I'll state the obvious one since it's obligatory for me to say it. Robert Englund.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
How could you not mention Robert Englund?
Well,
Brad Dourif.
How could Cody not mention?
Oh, Brad Dourif.
And there's his other.
Cody hasn't gotten a chance to speak yet. We went from CP to Lindsay to lead of CP.
Floor's yours, Cody. Go ahead and preach.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, obviously you got Freddy Krueger, but then he's also done a lot of B movie roles. He did directing a little bit here and there, like 936
976 Evil.
976 Evil. That's actually
Good
a pretty
Deftones song.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good movie. I guess it's definitely a product of the time. But I bought the little Blu-ray whenever they had the release of it, and he's got some style. I'm surprised he didn't direct more because it's pretty. It's the dude from Fright Night, the one who played Evil Ed, and then he had like a gay porn career for like 10 years or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's basically this geek who channels demonic powers and then it's your typical revenge story, but he slowly starts turning into this monster, and it's got some good gore effects and everything where like he rips a dude's heart out and shit. It's wicked stuff. So, he's one of those guys, just like we were talking about Kane Hodder. He's just kind of like, he's synonymous with the word horror.
Mm-hmm.
I think my favorite performance by Englund is Friday Part 2. I think he's good in Part 1, although they don't let him say that much. He just kind of stands in the shadows and does his thing. In Part 2, I think he really got a chance to like flex and, he was
a little bit scarier.
Am I the only asshole that heard him say Friday Part 2?
No, I said. Oh, I meant Nightmare Part 2. Did I say Friday Part 2?
Maybe I'm hearing things.
No, I think he did say Friday, but I
think you're right.
Because I was like,
sometimes with Nightmare.
I was like, wait,
Friday.
what? Yeah, because they're not Halloween, so.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Damn, a bunch of good ones are flying up in the chat.
Buster Rhymes.
Kevin Bacon.
Trick or treat.
Stop it!
Kevin Bacon. How about that? That's a good one.
Yeah, Stir of Echoes is.
Yeah, I was just
awesome.
gonna say Stir of Echoes. That's
Hollow Man. Hollow Man.
Stir of Echoes?
Hollow. Yeah, that's horror.
Yeah.
All right.
Stir of Echoes?
All right.
Go wait in the car.
Fuck up.
Hollow Man. I've always loved Hollow Man.
Oh yeah, he's great in Hollow Man. He's pretty sadistic in Hollow Man too.
Oh god,
yeah, he's an awesome villain.
Yeah, what I like about Hollow Man is he starts off like you don't really think he's a villain.
Yeah.
He's kind of an asshole. But as soon as he gets that power, then he becomes a full-on villain. Like he even rapes Rona Mitra.
Yeah.
He's a super badass in that X-Men first. That's not a horror movie.
Yeah, he was actually really good in X-Men.
He's good in that too.
Yeah. So that's a good one. Now my pick, I've been saving this one, was Tom freaking Atkins. Gotta talk about Tom Atkins.
Yeah, the stash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to pick what's my favorite performance by Tom Atkins, because I guess it'd be between Season of the Witch or Night of the Creeps.
Oh yeah.
And both
Season
of
of
them
the
have
Witch is much more serious, but he gets to have a lot more fun in Night of the Creeps.
Yeah, thrill me. I mean, he gets that great line, thrill me.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. And then Season of the Witch, I like him because we're supposed to root for this guy, but he's kind of he's a womanizer. He's not really like, if you met this, like if you were kind of just like a fly on the wall and you were watching this guy in real life, you'd be like, what a fucking creep, But when you watch the movie, you can't help but root for him. It's weird.
Holly Klein says Paul Rudd.
I was actually going to agree with her. That's a good pick, Holly. Hey, Paul Rudd and Howard Sticks is really good, I think. Look, give me a doctor now.
I got one for you.
What?
Dog Will Hunt.
Oh yeah, Chop Top. Bill Moseley.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a good
Come
one.
on. I thought only dogs could hear you then. I just didn't understand what you said.
Oh, okay. That's a Dog Will Hunt. It's a reference to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, which starred Bill Moseley, who was what I was referring to.
I'm there now. I'm all caught up.
Well, don't forget
Pretty-
Rob Zombie's movies too that he did.
I was just gonna say, pretty much anybody that stars in any fucking Rob Zombie movie, you could pretty much throw out there. Tony Todd, Ken Faree.
Oh, Tony Todd.
Yeah,
For
Candyman
the-
is great.
For the voice alone.
Yeah, just
Yep.
his voice. Like
Yep.
a lot of the time when he's in films, you'll hear his voice before they show him on screen.
He was the voice of the villain in Flash season 2, and it was the best part.
Zoom, that freaked me out. It absolutely freaked me out. I was like, I can't even watch this season. It's too much. But it was a good season.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we could talk a little bit about Supernatural
Oh, yes.
Oh,
because you
yeah.
got Jensen Ackles and
I'm not
Jared
caught up
Padalecki.
though.
What's that?
I'm not caught up either. I'm not
Yeah,
caught
I'm
up either.
way
I was
behind.
caught up until I got with Holly, and then she's like, "Oh, I want to watch this show." So we rewatched 1 through 7, and then she got bored and watched something else. So now I'm stuck until she catches up because I stopped at like season 10.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I've
think
seen it all. I've seen the whole thing.
Tommy was like
Yeah.
a few months old, so I was always tired, but then John was working shifts and like
Yep.
working nights, so we got so behind on catching up on shows, and now like The Walking Dead and Flash and Arrow and Supernatural, all of which we're behind on.
Well, the thing I'll say about the series is, you got every season, it's like 24, 22 episodes. There's going to be some complete shit in those episodes. But the constant with it is the relationship between the two brothers.
Mhm.
I think that's what keeps the show going is because you just love Sam and Dean's, relationship with each other. They're just so close to each other. They always have each other's backs. But yeah, they're so different. Like
Yeah.
Sam is like the bad boy. He's not the brightest. Dean. And then Sam is like the brains, but he's the younger brother. So Dean's always taking care of him. You can't help. Like I would love a Supernatural movie that that put a lot of money into it because it's got some pretty bad special effects in the show too.
I think they do pretty well with what they
It's
got.
okay though, yeah.
Something else I'll say too, as far as them stretching out a 24 episode seasons over and over and over again for what are they on, like 14 now? They have a lot of fun. Like they don't care how ridiculous of an episode it is. Like they have episodes where, like they had the Scooby-Doo episode. They had an episode where they were stuck in television shows. So they had like a Grey's Anatomy show they were stuck in. They had a CSI show they were stuck in. Like they can have a lot of fun to where they can break up the monotony a lot in that show. Because one of the main things you'll hear me bitch about with Walking Dead is how they never sustained a 16 episode season. And then you got a show like Supernatural that does it 24 episodes every single
almost
year.
A crime. It's almost a crime.
See,
Like
I think that Supernatural has the opportunity to do the filler episodes though.
Yeah.
And the filler episodes are sometimes my favorite ones.
They are. My
but-
favorite one is the mystery spot. That's my number one episode of Supernatural.
Did it
where
look
Dean
cool?
dies over and over and over
You peed
again.
yourself. Of course I peed myself.
One of my favorite ones, and it's definitely a throwaway episode, is when they become actors. Like they go into the real world, I guess, and they have to
become
act.
themselves.
What's a Padalecki?
What's a Padalecki? And Dean's like putting his lips out and everything.
Oh yeah.
It was hilarious. I was laughing my ass off on that one.
Oh yeah, they got some funny ones. I love that. I love the one where they have the rabbit's foot, where if you lose it, your luck goes bad.
You scream.
Yeah.
Oh, that was scary.
It's a good show. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun show. Renegade Hero, got to give him a shout out because he mentioned Sam Neill, which is awesome.
But what
Oh,
movies
yeah.
have you seen
Oh, yeah.
him in, Lee?
I recently saw a little movie called In the Mouth of Madness,
Oh, there it is. There it is.
and he's great in that. He's awesome.
Andrew's
I am
in the chat
sure-
right now too, so he'll be happy.
Yes.
Do you read Sutter Kane?
That's right. I made damn sure Lee watched that movie. You got
Man,
that
I'm
one.
so glad I did.
Yeah, you got that one. You've got Daybreakers. I've always been a big fan of, and he's great in that. You've got
Dead
Dead
Calm.
Calm.
Event Horizon.
Yeah. Oh, he's done so many good horror movies.
Mhm.
But Dead Calm never gets talked about, and it's like I love Dead Calm. It's so good.
Billy
Billy
Zane's
Zane.
so freaky in that.
Speaking, and I know I'm jumping all over the place here, but because I got to mention this because I'll forget it. Ray Liotta in Something Wild. Have you guys ever seen Something Wild?
No, sir.
You want to see a complete psychopath, and this is one of Ray Liotta's first roles. It came out in the mid-'80s with Meg Ryan, directed by Jonathan Demme, who directed Silence of the Lambs. I'm telling you, this movie is fucking excellent, and Ray Liotta will knock your. It starts off almost like a dramedy, and then the second half is like a full-on like psychotic thriller. It's crazy. Yeah, you got to. I'm telling you, you got to see it. It's so good, so good.
Yeah.
Are you guys still there?
Yeah.
Oh, we're here.
Okay. I'm
mentally making a note.
Yes, something wild. I'm telling. It's on Criterion Collection actually, but. The reason I talk about that one is because I saw it on HBO when I was a kid all the time, and I just remember like being obsessed with that movie. And I thought for sure it was one of those movies that was going to be, huge, and everybody was going to talk about it. And it just kind of disappeared. And so it's like one of my favorite movies that nobody talks about.
Renegade Hero is a girl, Lee.
Oh, sorry, Renegade Hero. I appreciate that. Well, Sam Neill is a great pick. There you go.
Bela Lugosi. Good call, Mike.
Gee, that's a way back reach. Patrick Wilson. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's been mentioned a couple times in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah, Patrick Wilson's always interesting. Insidious. Yeah, he was in Insidious.
There's one somebody brought up Wrong Turn, which thinks of Desmond Harrington.
Yeah.
Oh, the what's his face from Dexter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah.
he was also on Ghost Ship.
Oh, right. Yeah.
We're still missing a huge one.
What?
Bruce Campbell.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I can't believe we haven't said it. I've been saving him.
Earlier,
Oh, you did? Oh, never mind.
but I didn't get to.
We must have flown past it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Bruce Campbell. Okay. Anyway, so Robert Englund.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? It's like, what can you say about Bruce Campbell? He is like the epitome. In horror, he's like the first name that people think of if you talk about men in horror.
Is he really?
I got one. Bryan.
Of course. He's Ash. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. Okay. Normally, I am kidding you, but
Okay.
I think what makes it difficult for me, because I know so many people that absolutely love Bruce Campbell. I love Ash.
Yeah.
And I have difficulty watching him in other roles because all I see him as is Ash.
He's not good.
So I've tried watching the Boa Hotep and stuff like that, and I can't get through it because it's just not the character that I know and love. And I think that he was a little typecast with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's hard for him to break out of it because of people like me that only love him as Ash.
It's interesting that you say that, Lindsay, because I had a tough time watching the TV series Ash versus Evil Dead because I think I have a tough time separating young Ash from older Ash. And so I had a tough time getting into the show. Like I just didn't connect with him like I did with the movies.
Yeah, that's just your old age, though.
What's that?
That's just your old age. Getting stubborn now.
I know, right? Because I'm like 30 years older than him. So
Hashtag not my age.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? There was somebody else that somebody brought up. Go ahead, CP.
One that, go ahead.
To go further on my point, I think when people think horror, in the last 40 years or so, since like 1980, the directors stick out more than actors. Before 1980, it would be Bela Lugosi, Christopher Lee, people like that. But since like 1980ish, it's John Carpenter, it's Wes Craven, it's the bigger name directors that are stars of horror. At least that was my perception. I guess that's
a good point.
Thank you. And that's it for me. Good night, folks.
Yeah. Well, you can't not mention Wes Craven and John Carpenter. Those two names are just constantly mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Got one that Bryan would appreciate, Lance Henriksen.
Oh.
Yep.
I see Bill Paxton there,
I'm
too.
Lance Henriksen, and you're watching Bryan.
Oh, yeah, Bill Paxton. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Near Dark, he's great in that. Pumpkinhead, obviously the Alien movies, quite a few.
Ooh, Joseph Zito. I mean, the guy's got 2 credits that are definitely worth mentioning: The Prowler and Friday Part 4.
Luke Evans.
Friday Part 4. The Prowler killed me trying to watch that movie. I fell asleep like five fucking times trying to watch it.
He's got another one. What the fuck? The Thanksgiving one.
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
Why is it escaping me?
Yeah.
It's actually called Slasher in another country.
Yeah. Fuck.
fucking thing sucks.
Yeah. No, Zito has another horror movie that he did before Friday 4 that was okay-ish. Fuck.
It's Thanksgiving. It's the kids, the twins, or one of the twins killing. What is the name of that movie?
I have the poster in my mind, and it looks like
me too.
Buffalo Bill with a knife in his hand.
I'll type the answer.
Even though it's not Buffalo Bill.
Joseph Zito movies.
It is not Thanksgiving. It's a 2-word movie.
Somebody's probably mentioned it in the chat by now.
Not yet. Tom Savini. Okay. We'll get to Tom Savini.
Oh, he did Invasion USA, actually.
Oh, that's right. That's canon masterpiece.
Mm-hmm. Missing in Action.
Anything.
Nobody. Tom.
Are you sure it was Joseph Zito who did that?
I'm pretty sure.
It's not showing anything. It goes straight from Fighting Prowler to.
Got it. Blood Rage.
Blood Rage. There it is.
Yeah.
Donka.
I'm gonna look on Bloody Disgusting and see if I see any horror news. Quick that we want to discuss.
Discuss.
And thanks to everybody for kind of bearing with me because I know we're like an hour late on this thing. This ain't too bad though. I mean, I don't mind Google Hangouts. At least the audio sounds great.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, we still got 100 and something viewers, so that's not too bad.
With no notice, this is
with no notice.
Not
so
terrible.
that's not terrible.
I think it's hard for us to keep our train of thought too when we don't have points like we normally do.
The kill list.
Yeah. Topics. What I could do in the future, if we have to go this route until they get OBS up to date, is I could probably post the topics for you guys in like Facebook or something like that, and you could pull it up, through like Word or something like that,
and have and then narrow it down and have people vote on the narrowed down. Like, I mean, because there was like 113 comments last time. Like, I don't know. What the fuck do I know?
Stupid.
CP, shut up. Just shut up.
Okay, I'm looking at Bloody Disgusting right now. Am I the only one that just can't get into American Horror Story?
I loved season 1. I was disappointed with the 2 seasons I saw after that, and I pretty much abandoned the show because it just
I just can't get into it.
I love season 1 and Coven. Coven was really, really good for me. But I didn't like the Asylum. And I didn't like. Freak Show was okay, but it was more sad than it was scary. And I didn't like Roanoke or the cult one very much. But I'm excited that they're apparently going back to Murder House.
Yeah, 1 was fun. Season 1 was fun.
It's like The Walking Dead for me. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, he lost me. But season 2, Asylum. Is there
not enough Carnage candy for you?
No, not enough.
Take a shot.
Asylum was like everything, and the kitchen sink and the bathroom, and it was just like everything was going on in that fucking season. And then Coven, to me, if I remember correctly, the thing that bugged me was that everybody that kept dying kept getting resurrected, so it felt like there was no stakes. I remember being cool that Stevie Nicks showed up, but I watched like maybe 3 episodes of Freak Show, didn't get into it. I watched a couple episodes of The Hotel, didn't get into it. I watched 1 episode of Roanoke, didn't get into it, and I haven't watched it since. But the first season I've seen twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the first season I thought was fucking awesome.
It really was.
It almost seems like the show got like, and this is going to sound like a weird criticism, but it's the same dude who did Nip Tuck, and Nip Tuck got this way after a while. It seems like he just tries to force weird sexual shit into every season now for shock value, and it just doesn't quite land. Like there was a dude, what was it, the Hotel season? There was this random fucking ghoul that came up, and it fucked a dude with like a drill bit dildo. Yeah. And I was just like, what the fuck did that come from? It was random. It was anal rape with a drill, and then I was okay. Back to what we were talking about.
Now we're talking my language.
Yeah, what season is that? I might have to jump back.
DVR time.
That reminds me of something funny. I used to work with this girl, and she said, I don't like horror movies. They freak me out. And then we got on the subject of American Horror Story, and she's like, oh, I love that show. Yeah, I watch it every season. Yeah. It's just like, that's horror. Isn't that kind of weird? Like, you don't like horror, but you're watching American Horror Story? That's more than the name. Did any of you guys pick up Predator on 4K?
I picked up the 3-pack.
Yeah, I thought about getting a 3-pack, and I probably should have because it's like $20 more. You get the other 2 movies. But I just bought Predator 2, and it looks great on Blu-ray actually. So I just bought the first one. I watched it last night, and just to let you guys know, it looks phenomenal in 4K. And there's a backstory on this, and I don't know if Cody knows this, but I know the Ultimate Hunter Edition almost looks like a video game, and they did that on like they made it look waxy, like the face. They wanted to make it look like an updated movie, and I guess normal people probably wouldn't. It probably wouldn't bother them, but for people that are into like quality, I guess video, and you want it to look as close to the source material as possible, that was a really bad release.
They removed the film noise.
Yeah, digital noise reduction. They removed too much of it. So I have the 2008 Blu-ray, and that's the only one I watched because it leaves the film grain intact. It looks gritty. It looks dirty. Well, this new 4K release, all that's still there. It's intact, and it's a 4K scan. It looks great.
We can't see you again, Lee.
Awesome.
Speaking of 4K.
Yeah, they did
I'm the opposite of 4K right now.
They did a really good job with the. I have the 3D Blu-ray. Whenever I moved into my apartment right before I met Holly, I bought a 3D TV, so I was buying up all the 3D Blu-rays that they had. And Predator was actually really cool because like you could see the little reticle and shit, and that was a cool version to see.
Yeah, and I watched it last night. It still holds up too because I'm actually recording Predator Revisited because it was like one of the first reviews I did like by mistake. So I'm looking forward to recording that.
Oops! I did a review.
You know what? If you start a YouTube channel, don't review your favorite movies in your first year.
That's why I stay away from them.
Would you agree with that, guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you're gonna look back and you're gonna regret it.
The only thing I regret about my Nightmare on Elm Street reviews is that I didn't quite start doing the thing where I have like a themed background in my franchise reviews yet. So I would have loved to have done like a boiler room or something. That's the one thing I regret about it. Everything else, I think my thoughts would have been exactly the same. But
oh, mine's just horrible.
Yeah, mine are still horrible. So
Hey,
Oh, whatever.
in 10 years, I'll look back and be like, I shouldn't have reviewed any of that shit.
I think my picture's back now.
it is.
Okay, cool. Constantly clicking around here. Let me look at the news and see what else we got. That was one of the news topics, though, the 4K release. How about Venom? What do you guys think about the new trailer for Venom? Did you think it showed too much, DP?
CP,
go ahead, Cody. Go ahead.
It's hard to say because until I see the movie, I won't know. It seemed like it showed 2 really good scenes of Venom talking. Now, hopefully those aren't the 2 best scenes in the movie, but on the flip side of it, they showed me everything I needed to see to get me really interested. Yeah. Because and I'm a Spider-Man 3 defender. Like I love Spider-Man 3.
Me too.
But there is definitely some things they fucked up with Venom as far as Topher Grace and everything. So now that you get Tom Hardy, you automatically get me in the seat. Yeah. But they're going for the more comic book, version of Venom where he's hulking and he's, the size and everything like that. And I love the dialogue that they're going with. So everything that they're showing from this movie, where I was initially really skeptical on it, it's making me want to see it quite a bit. So it worked for me.
CP, any thoughts on your end?
Quick, before you even say that, yes, Mike Bragg in the chat, yes, even with the dancing scene. And that dancing scene in Spider-Man 3 is really misunderstood because all it is a tongue-in-cheek reference to the dancing scene in Spider-Man 2 that everybody thought was great. Go ahead, CP.
Can I ask, has somebody got a cat that's digging through?
That's Levi.
Oh, okay.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, I was like,
I thought he had like a shake, a protein shake that he was.
Yeah, he was shaking up a protein shake. We had to take him to the vet yesterday.
Oh.
He gets a shot because he's got like allergies.
That sucks.
Yeah,
it sucks.
He's got social anxiety too.
Oh, we all do.
Yeah. CP, go ahead. Give me your thoughts on.
I have superhero fatigue. So if it's something like I love Deadpool too,
Yeah, me too.
Because it's just basically roasting fucking superhero movies. So if they take the dark angle with it without being DC, I'm intrigued enough. I like. It's not like I'm excited. There's other things this fall I'd rather see.
Yeah.
Get your shot glasses ready, but yeah. I'm in no rush. I'm in no. The footage doesn't change one way or another because I'm just kind of tired in general. Like if something really jumped out, which I don't think anything really had. I mean, I'm not really the target audience. I'm just not a comic guy. So
really, you're not like a comic book movie guy?
no. I'm a Christopher Nolan.
I like
trilogy. That was fucking impressive. If we could have more of that. It's not that I'm not a comic guy. I'm just not like, oh my god, change all the plans for the weekend because Marvel is releasing a 3-second thing.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely that fatigue.
Yeah.
I know Lindsay likes, like, you like the last Infinity War, right, Lindsay?
Not cool, man.
Rip.
Yeah, I loved it, but yeah, I have a strange love-hate relationship with a lot of the like action hero kind of movies and comic movies and that sort of thing. I like, especially I'm more of a DC girl myself, so I want to love the DC movies, but they have struggled, and there are some that I really, really dislike.
Yep.
And other ones that I love.
Batman v Superman, love it.
Yeah, Batman v Superman, loved, but I wasn't a fan of Man of Steel.
What?
But
I love Man of Steel.
Whoa.
This isn't a
you got
horror.
it backwards.
No.
Oh, where's Bryan?
We'll have that
Bryan?
talk another time. But this is supposed
Yes,
to be a horror chat.
we'll table that discussion for when
I
Bryan
will
is here.
find him.
So, Lindsay, did you watch the Venom trailer?
No.
Okay.
That's where I was leading with that, is because
go ahead.
I want to love them, but then I go and I see them in the theater, and everything that I've already seen in the trailers is what's in the movie, and everything gets kind of spoiled for me. That anticipation is kind of taken away from me.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, I now refuse to watch trailers for most movies, actually. Like, even
You're not
like,
wrong.
I'm with you. I'm with
outside
you.
of that. So
It's mostly. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Tom Hardy will get me in the theater seat.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even a big Spider-Man person, but I'll be there, and I'll make up my mind when I watch the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my thing. I love Tom Hardy. He's my biggest problem with the Venom trailer, at least. I don't. Not visually. Okay, bear with me. His delivery of his lines, I don't know the accent that he uses. I don't know what it is, but it just comes off as, I don't know, different. And I'll reserve my judgment until I see the whole movie. And I've seen other people mention this too. There's just something off, and it could be just the lines that he gives, like a turd in the wind. Stuff. There's something that just doesn't feel right. And I hope I'm wrong. I actually prefer the way Venom looked in Spider-Man 3. I'm serious.
No, he looks pretty badass.
Even Cody can't defend that.
Well, look, it's not that I didn't like the way that he looked in Spider-Man 3, but if I'm comparing the two, this is definitely the Venom that I know and love as far as the looks
I like
go.
his size.
There's not a huge difference in the aesthetic of the symbiote. It's just one looks like a regular person and the other one looks like a fucking Hulk. And Venom has always been like a big badass hulky version of Spider-Man. He shouldn't look he shouldn't look like Spider-Man in a black suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's and yeah, like I said, I'm a Spider-Man 3 defender.
Speaking of Bryan,
but I don't know. See, the trailer felt like it was Tom Hardy in a studio room, just kind of reading off lines to guide the trailer story through. It didn't feel like it was straight out of the movie. But I see what you're saying.
Well, here's my thing. Venom is one of my favorite comic book villains.
Yeah.
So
me too.
And when I heard they were doing a Venom movie, I was like over the moon. I was like, yes, okay, cool, let's get this right. And then as soon as I started seeing these trailers drop, it's like my anticipation. I'm still excited. I still want to see it, but I'm not where I was when I first heard that they were making a Venom movie. So that's kind of what I'm struggling with right now.
Yeah, it could go either way.
Talk so that it goes off of Lee when his face freezes like that. Because you just had derp face for like a full-on minute.
Oh, that's awesome.
And your camera's off
Levi
again.
didn't look good either. Levi always looks good.
Yeah,
your camera's off again, Lee.
He's camera ready. Okay, I can.
Your camera's off again. Okay.
Oh, it is? Yeah. Okay, I can fix that. Hold on.
Yeah. It could go either way. To me, this movie it kind of has the same. I have more faith in this than I did the movie I'm about to mention, but it kind of has the same as The Mummy with Tom Cruise, where it's like they're trying to start this new universe. They're trying to take some risks. They throw a big name in there, and it could either go really well or it could go like The Mummy. We'll find out.
You know,
God,
if I watch The Mummy and you tell, like, if you secretly put it in and didn't tell me the title and just told me it was some Tom Cruise action flick, I would enjoy it as that. But because it's trying to be,
it's trying to be the
different movies
point.
trying to coexist.
It's a perfectly inoffensive action movie, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not a horror jumping off point.
It's offensive when Jack Johnson or whatever his name is on screen.
Yeah.
Oh, the American Werewolf in London, just like straight rip off. Like,
yeah, let's keep this fucking guy around. Let's invent ways to keep him around for the rest of the movie, and then resurrect him at the very end so he can come back.
That's
and the main villain is just a complete CGI fest.
Yeah.
Sophia Boutella is pretty fucking badass as a villain in a lot of shit. Hotel Artemis, she's a badass in. Kingsman, she's a badass. Yeah, there's fucking forgetting.
She's even good in Atomic Blonde. She's pretty good in that one.
Yes.
Too.
Yeah, she was good in Atomic Blonde.
Somebody give her Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Sorry. Somebody mentioned where am I seeing this? The Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh.
Yeah. The real one.
Oh, excuse me. Don't tell Jared Leto that.
Which that whole thing is kind of weird because they made this announcement with Jared Leto.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they made the announcement with Joaquin Phoenix, and everybody's like, the Jared Leto thing isn't really happening. I don't know. What's your guys' take on that?
It's gonna be weird because me and Durbin did a whole video on this whenever we had some news. The whole Joker thing is just fucking weird because you got a lot of people that hated what Jared Leto did. You got some people that liked it. I'm in the camp where I just don't think I've seen enough of it to really make a big enough decision.
Yeah, me too.
So it could go either way. But there's been talk about a Harley and Joker movie, and then they scrapped that. And then he was going to show up in the Birds of Prey movie, and then now I guess he's not. And now they're talking about doing a Jared Leto solo movie. And then they said this Joaquin Phoenix thing, and the idea of a Joker origin movie doesn't interest me at all because that's the last character in the entire comic book fucking universe that you want to do an origin.
That's the one character you don't want to know his backstory.
Yeah. But what interests me is all the names attached. Like you got Martin Scorsese producing. Okay, you got my attention. And then you got the guy who did the Hangover movies and Road Trip and everything. Todd Phillips is directing. You're like, well, that's a interesting choice. That could either be brilliant or horrible. And then you get a guy like Joaquin Phoenix who's notorious for turning down shit left and right, and he sees something in this script that he just signs on for it. Like that's like wow. But then you got this problem because if Joaquin Phoenix does what Joaquin Phoenix does and knocks it out of the fucking park and has this awesome Joker, well, what are you going to do when you're trying to? What are you going to do when you're trying to resell us this Jared Leto Joker? Now everybody's going to be like, no, bring me Joaquin Phoenix. So it seems like they're kind of stepping on their own dick a bit.
Well, here's my issue. The Jared Leto Joker, to me, it's unfinished. Like I want to know more. He was my favorite part of Suicide Squad. Every time he was on screen. Yeah, I'm serious. Every time he was on screen, I was like, "Yeah, this is cool," you know. But then they leave him, so he's only in the movie for like what, 15 minutes.
Well, they cut out like 2/3 of his scenes, so it's just funny to me too that they're gonna hack down everything he did in that movie, which would have made that movie way better and flow a lot better. And then they're trying to force him down your throat again. So it's like, make up your fucking mind. Do you not like him or do you like him? What are we doing?
Yeah, it's disjointed one way or another.
It seems like it. again, we have to wait till we see the movies. It seems like the DC movies are starting to turn a little bit because they've got a completely different person in the head. Like, you're not seeing this constant shit where every single day there's a new announcement, there's a new movie, there's 15 fucking movies that they're going to plan to do, and then 5 of them are canceled 2 weeks later. Like, you know, the Aquaman trailer looked pretty good. The Shazam trailer looked hilarious.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't agree with that?
I did not like that Shazam. I like the Shazam trailer up to when you see Shazam, and then I just, okay, I'm done.
Wow.
Really?
Visually, I just could not get into what they were doing with it.
I think it looks fun.
I agree. Like, it's a change of pace movie. Like,
No, it's
Yeah,
let's
I mean,
copy
it's-
Marvel movie. That's what it is. That's what it feels
It's not
I don't
copying
know
Marvel.
about
What are you
that.
talking?
I
No,
don't know.
You stop it.
Shazam is literally them say it's having fun. It's saying, what would a kid do if he suddenly has Superman's powers? And it acted exactly like that. We're like,
kind of like a PG Kick-Ass.
yeah, exactly. It's
That's
like
what. I love Kick-Ass. I love Kick-Ass.
yeah. When he throws the dude out of the fucking In-N-Out Mart and he sees the hot chick, he's like, "Hey, what's up? I'm a superhero." Like shit like that. You're like, that's exactly what I would do if I had Superman's powers.
You're welcome for saving you from a robbery or whatever the fuck he said.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry for the window, but you're welcome for not getting robbed.
I'm curious what Lindsay would think if she saw the trailer, because I know she won't watch the trailer.
No, I'm sorry. I wish I could be more help.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't know,
Lindsay, what do you think of Jared Leto as the Joker?
Not a fan.
No, why don't you like him?
I just he didn't feel anything like the Joker to me. And
Really?
like I grew up like I watched like the Michael Keaton and Val Kilmer and all of those Batman films, and Jack Nicholson as the Joker was fun and everything. Yep. My Joker and mannerisms and the way that he talks and his laugh and everything is like the Mark Hamill animated series Joker.
Yeah. Same here.
When I see Jared Leto, like there's just it doesn't compute for me. Yeah. There's no connection there, and you could tell me that he's a completely different name and I would believe you.
You didn't mention Heath Ledger. Did you like Heath Ledger?
I did. No, like I absolutely.
That's a big ellipsis you got hanging there.
I absolutely loved Heath Ledger's Joker, but again, it could have been like take out Batman and have some other hero in there. He could have been any kind of villain, right? You could have given him any name. He wouldn't have necessarily had to have been the Joker. He would have been an excellent villain no matter what, and he would have done the role amazingly no matter what, but he didn't necessarily have to be the Joker.
See, I think my thing is I've never watched the animated series, so I don't know Mark Hamill's performance. And I freaking was in love with Heath Ledger's Joker.
Well, but Mark Hamill's done the voice for the Joker in numerous different like animated films over the years, and some of the games, and like he's iconic in that role.
Yeah,
but
he's always been my favorite Joker too. I grew up with the animated series, so I had the same thing. I loved Heath Ledger's Joker. And I think cinematically, that's the standard that everyone's going to be held to now. But it's Mark Hamill is kind of my gauging point. That is kind of what I look for. Yeah. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel that connection with him. Like I'm not even a huge like Margot Robbie or whatever. I'm not a huge fan of hers, but she had like little flashes throughout the film that actually like made me go, oh, that's definitely Harley. And like I could feel it. But I didn't get that with Jared Leto whatsoever.
I kind of agree with that actually. Like Margot Robbie, I felt like she was channeling just a bad chick, just I didn't really feel like Harley Quinn as much as I wanted to, I guess.
Well, there were some times.
Yeah.
It's a very different version of Harley Quinn and a very different version of their relationship too, because historically the Joker like torments the shit out of her and tortures her mentally, and she is just like she's so fixated on him that she will do anything for him to the point of turning evil. In the movie, it's kind of like a duality of that. Like they both need each other in like some psychotic way. And so it's almost like she's just as psychotic, if not more psychotic than him in some aspects. And so
I liked her when
different.
she was in the scenes with the Joker in Suicide Squad, but when she was in the other scenes with the rest of the Suicide Squad, I just didn't really care as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was the wrong way to introduce a lot of those characters. I still don't think, I still don't understand why you wouldn't introduce them in a fucking Batman movie, but I don't know. I'm not, I'm not in charge of DC.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should be.
Hey, I'll take the check.
I know, right?
I'll take half the check and do it.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know.
Want a beef?
Want no beef?
You want no beef? You want no beef?
CP, what do you got coming up on your channel?
Solo.
Oh, I've heard. I haven't looked into that movie, but I think I know a little bit about
Debauchery, the film.
Yeah.
It's it's got no artistic merit. It's
CP, what made you jump into this like subgenre of horror for these last few reviews?
You know, it's not even horror. It's just Emily's got some. I always catch her watching these weird fucking top 10, like she's into some morbid shit, and I'm just like, you know what? Let me just carve this path and watch some movies that are infamous, and I'm just so bored with like, fuck. There's a comic book movie every goddamn month. I'm just bored doing new stuff. I don't want to do mainstream stuff. I don't know. I'm just sick of myself. I think. Yeah. So a little fun, just discovering these wretched, horrible movies, and without this little project, I wouldn't have found Martyrs, which is I think if you like Saw, if you like Hostel, Martyrs, if you can handle a movie in a different language, is a way better version of both of those movies with a message, with a really fucked up ending.
Mm-hmm. For sure. It fucked up last 35 minutes.
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from, though, because I do get more excited about watching a movie that I know nothing about, especially if it's like a subgenre that I'm really into at the time, like say Giallo films.
Yeah.
I get really excited about reviewing that stuff. So instead of like the mainstream, like Truth or Dare, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah, I'm just tired.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, that woke me up. All right, let's talk about this.
Yeah, that's something worth discussing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's disgusting. All right.
If I can start off a review with, you guys ain't gonna believe this shit, then that's a good review. Yeah. You gotta see that. Like I remember when I reviewed Goodnight Mommy, I was like, whoa, I need to tell you guys about this movie. You need to know this. That's the reviews I really get excited about.
Yeah.
So, Lindsay, what do you got coming up besides Jaws 4?
Well, I am currently trying to edit a kind of like the makeup that I did for my last video. I was going to be uploading that. Some people have been asking for that, so I'm working on editing that, and I have another In Defense Of coming up, and I do have a series that I've been jotting down names for, and a story time sort of thing.
Nice. Stay on that In Defense Of. I'm enjoying that series. That's fun.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Cody, what do you got, brother?
Well, we mentioned it earlier, Joyride. I've got a patron request that's already recorded. I just need to edit it, so that will be out soon. If I get to the theater this weekend, I might review Meg or the Slender Man. If I end up seeing both of them, who the fuck knows? So that's possible. I'm sure it won't be too many weeks before me and you do Phantasm 3, especially since you love 2 so much.
Looking forward to that.
And we've teased it a little bit, but I'll go ahead and announce it here sometime this weekend. Hopefully Friday, possibly Saturday. Me, Lee, and Durbin from Durbania are all going to be reviewing In the Mouth of Madness. Yes. So that's going to be pretty badass. Lee's first time viewing. I'm a longtime fan. Durbin's first time viewing, but he's going to be doing like a kind of like the Brian Lomax thing. He's doing like a theological analysis. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
We miss you, man.
Yeah, we do. other patron requests coming up. I've got Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I got The Prestige, Inception, a couple of more. And I'll be doing another commentary probably this weekend because the last one I did actually went really well. The Child's Play 2 one. And everybody wants me to do fucking Freddy's Dead. So it's probably going to end up being Freddy's Dead. That's every fourth comment. Well, you should do one of these for Freddy's Dead. I'm like, fuck. So I'm going to give the people what they want. And you're going to watch me bitch and complain for 2 hours about how horrible that fucking movie is. But it should be entertaining nonetheless.
Yeah. Just to give everybody like the inside scoop on what I thought of In the Mouth of Madness, holy shit!
Yes.
When I saw Prince of Darkness, that was my reaction to that movie, and I was like, "There's no way In the Mouth of Madness is gonna be that level." It was that level. Like the Apocalypse trilogy is now like officially my favorite horror trilogy ever. It's like all 3 movies to me are 5 out of 5. John fucking Carpenter, people.
Mm-hmm.
The man earned every freaking accolade with these 3 movies. It's insane. So yeah, I got that obviously. I have a patron request for The Crazies coming up real soon. The remake. Okay. Timothy Olyphant.
Love him.
Yeah.
Me too.
Me too. Fuck.
So I got that coming up. I got Revisited series for. I got Predator Revisited. I got Resurrection. I got Rob Zombie's Halloween. A few more of those. The Thing, I'm revisiting The Thing, and then the big one that's coming up is
good
Hollow
old Oops
Stream.
reviews.
What's that?
I said good old Oops reviews. Let me put a Band-Aid on this one.
Oh shit!
We're having a nice little back and forth yesterday on Killer Flicks with the thumbnails. That was really fun. That was great.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
But I gotta mention, Hollow Stream 2 is coming. Officially, it's going to be the 18th, Saturday the 18th of this month. Hollow Stream 2. First one was huge. This one's going to be, hopefully it's going to be huge. Cody, Dave McCrae, we watched the movie. So I'm excited. That's going to be awesome.
And I plan on getting in 3 words this time, guys. So
yes.
around.
No, I'm still navigating how to approach that because yeah, you know what? I'm running that show, so I'm gonna try to divert it more towards Cody when I can. Because
it was funny because I was just enjoying myself the first time. I was just kind of along for the ride, and then whenever I saw the comments, like every third one was like, "Why the fuck isn't Cody speaking?" I was like, "Whoops."
People love Cody. So
just a little.
Yeah. I think the next one's gonna be better. I do.
Yeah.
So, but I have to get OBS working by that time.
Ooh.
So, damn it. Yeah, so hopefully we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's all I got, guys. I hope everybody has a great night. Thanks for stopping by, and hey, bless you all.